Hey, hi guys, what's up? This is your host Kapil Soni. Welcome to the channel of No From Indians. Today we are going to talk about the leaked episode of Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 7. There are certain things which are going to happen this Monday, as for example, the little looking thing will vanish, a bastard will no longer remain a bastard, and lovers will break up. Here comes the spoiler alert. So let's get started with the first one. The 7th episode will start in King's Landing, where Jon and Daenerys both will come to the King's Landing. Daenerys will bring both the Unsullieds and the Dothraki as she thinks that Cersei is laying some trap for her. Bronn and Jaime will have a look of Daenerys' army outside King's Landing door. Jorah, Theon, Davos, Jon, and Hound with the cage will enter Dragon Pit. Brienne, Podrick, Missandei has also arrived, and Brienne talks with the Hound about the survival of him. Tyrion and Podrick had a meeting. Missandei asked Tyrion why the Dragon Pit was built. Other lords also enters the Dragon Pit. Cersei arrives with her mountain and takes the seat. Hound and Mountain gave each other the look, but the Clegane brawl is not going to happen today. Cersei then asks Tyrion where is his queen. Then only Dany arrives on Drogon with Rhaegal. Everyone including Cersei and Euron were surprised of. Cersei then asked where is the third dragon. Tyrion explains her that third dragon was hit by a Night King. Jon then describes everyone that the army of dead is near and not needs help from everyone to survive the army of dead. Jon then says that great war is coming and it is here. Just then Cersei said that she doesn't believe in all this. Then what happens is that Hound opens the door of the cage and the walker comes out like a beast, and he didn't go towards the Cersei. But he was unable to reach Cersei as he was chained. Cersei became surprised and she was haunted. Then Hound explains that these fuckers can't be killed normally or with weapons, and not even if their body is chopped or half cut. Then Jon explains there are only two ways to kill these White Walkers. First way to set fire. He sets fire to the White Walker arm and the arm stopped moving. The second is to stab them with the dragon glass. Euron then pretended to be afraid and asked, now how many creatures are there? On which Jon replies, thousands, or maybe hundreds or lakhs. Euron asks, can they swim? Jon replies, no. On which Euron says, well, I am going back to Pike. Cersei sees the danger and says she must remain the queen. She then offers Jon Snow to be made the warden of the North and he should bend the knee. What happens is Jon swore an oath before everyone that he knows only one queen, Daenerys Targaryen. Because of the Jon's reply, Cersei leaves in anger and was not interested to collaborate with any of them, on which Brienne asks Jaime to help North. Tyrion gets upset and heads to the Red Keep with the mountain behind him. Once he arrives, Cersei abuses him for everything. Tyrion said that he is committed to the Lannisters and he wants them to survive because Dany was bringing fire for the Lannister. After the whole conversation, Cersei with Tyrion comes out of the room and then says that she has changed her mind and promises she will send her army to the north. Jaime had a conversation with Cersei on which he gets to realize that Cersei has changed her mind and she is not willing to send her army and troops to the north. She wants Night King to kill the Northerners and all the enemies of her. Then what happens is camera rolls in Winterfell in which Littlefinger says to Sansa that Arya is dangerous now for her. She had some evil plans, which is why she came back. Littlefinger says Sansa that Arya will try to use the ladder against her. Daenerys and Jon has arrived Dragonstone. Jon asked Theon, will he come to north and defend the wall? Then Theon replies, no, he must first rescue Yara. Jon wishes him luck. Then Theon tries to rally the remaining Ironborn left in the Dragonstone, and then a fight takes place between the leader of the Ironborn and Theon. Theon seems to be losing, but he somehow manages to kill the leader. Back to the Winterfell, Sansa gathers all the Lord of the North and Vale. Sansa asks Arya to come before her. Sansa says it is the time to check the great treason and betrayals that had been done to the North, and she will judge the person responsible for that. Sansa was telling all these things, looking straight into the eyes of Arya, and Arya had no clue that why her sister is behaving like that. Sansa says, you need to tell me how many times you have betrayed the North, Lord Baelish. Sansa, with the help of Bran, came to know all of the betrayals that Lord Baelish has done against her house and the North. So then she started telling each and every single betrayal of Lord Baelish. Then she takes out the dagger, the Valyrian dagger, and she asked Peter Baelish that if he knows anything about this dagger, and he said that yes, this dagger belonged to Tyrion Lannister. Bran then tells that you once said my father not to trust you again. Sansa then explains how Littlefinger sold her to the Boltons. Sansa tells, when you brought me to the Winterfell, you said there is no justice in the world, not unless we make it. She nods to Arya, giving the dagger to her, and then what happens is she said to Littlefinger before his last breath that thank you for all your lessons, Lord Baelish. I will never forget them. Arya then crosses the dagger to his throat and he dies a brutal death. Then both of the Stark girls admires each other. Back to the King's Landing, Jaime leaves King's Landing and he fixes his golden hand and looks back to the Red Keep, which is when the first snowfall lands King's Landing. Jaime is dressed like a sellsword. Bran is visited by Sam and Bran recognizes him. Bran asks what Sam is doing here and Sam tells he needs to see Jon Snow. Bran says he also needs to tell him a lot, which is when Sam asks what he needs to tell Jon. Bran replies, Jon is not Ned's bastard, but Lyanna's and Rhaegar's son, born in dawn, and his name is not Jon Snow, but Jon Saint. But Sam tells Jon is not this saint either, as Sam has found records in which Lyanna was sometime married to Rhaegar, meaning Jon is a Targaryen and the prince that was promised. Sam tells Bran that if he has power to see the future and past, then he should go and see by himself. Finally, Bran goes to the past and sees the wedding between Rhaegar and Lyanna Stark in the Dorne forest. As romantic scene between Rhaegar and Lyanna takes place, we see Jon and Daenerys romantic scene too. Jon and Dany are in a cabin in which they began to take their clothes off. In the next scene, we see the glimpse of the last scene of season 6, episode 10, in which Lyanna told Ned that she was married and her son's name is Aegon Targaryen. Then we go to the East Watch, where Tormund and Beric are, and we see that the army of dead almost reached the wall. Out of nowhere, the Night King comes out flying with Viserion and attacks on the wall. The Night King is seen focusing on the particular side of the wall in which Viserion blows their fire. Viserion breaks it in a V shape and army of dead walkers walk through it. Guys, this is all about the final and the best episode of season 7. Guys, let me know about your opinions on this and like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thanks, peace out, have fun in life, take care.